Shop's Basement, hosted by John Quennell, Danny McDevitt, Val Heffelfinger. I'm Trickie, and it's Grim After Dark.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Grim After Dark, where we bring you the latest Unreal news and unqualified analysis from the grim darkness of the far future. I'm your host, John. We're going to be going through the tumultuous events of the 41st millennium and beyond, so grab your dice, assemble your minis, and get ready for some epic battles. It's going to get pretty grim after dark. Joining me on the show is my good friend, Danny McDevitt. Danny, for the first time tonight, this is obviously something we haven't rehearsed.
Absolutely not.
Definitely didn't do this
Seriously?
once already and forgot that we didn't hit the stream button. It's pretty good.
No, never. We would never do that. That's an impossibility. We're professionals here, John.
We're absolutely professional. Danny, how has the one day of the week been so far for you, or sequentially the 7 days since we last recorded?
How did you know? It's been busy, John. I've been doing a lot of miniature painting. I could talk about the games I've played and the hobbies I've done, but I don't think. Well,
let's in respect of our dearly missing Val Heffelfinger here. The past couple weeks we've been doing a thing. We'll bring up slide 1 here. Where in the world is Val Heffelfinger? And this beautifully edited. This is not going to go away, by the way.
Sure.
I'm going to hope that Val takes more time off so we can keep doing that. Turns out this week he is actually right here on slide 2. Or just perfect. Yeah, he's. I don't know, Danny. Where is he?
Oh, I know where I am. Where am I, Danny? Where am I?
I don't know. It's like, are those like the Isles of Dragons or something?
Yes.
I don't remember what they're called.
Bing,
Dragon
bing,
Isles?
bing, 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 bing,
Yeah.
yes.
Hell yeah, dude.
Fucking Dragon Isles, bruh.
Dragon nuts.
Drag these nuts.
Filled with lizard men, but no salons to control them, so they're feral and wild.
It's terrible.
That's a fantasy fact for this episode. We're starting them early, John, and
Fantasy fact
probably
we
gonna
are.
be often.
Am I
Early
on?
and often.
Am I on the show right now?
You are on the show right
Hi,
now.
guys. How are you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you could
It's been
join
a
us
while.
finally.
Yeah. It's been a few weeks.
Anything changed while I was gone?
I mean, well, we have some things to tell you.
What?
We did we're out on our own now. This is not on the Frontline Gaming Network. Apparently you stepped down as creative director of the Frontline Gaming Network.
No,
They
not-
replaced you.
Yeah, look,
You made a
see,
video
your
with
name
your
tag.
truck.
It says former director of the FLGN there.
Yeah, we even still have the FLGN logo on the name tags there.
See? Whoops.
That's impossible. In order to retire from the FLGN, I would have had to have recorded a speech from my car in the form of a selfie post on Facebook.
Now you would have to do like vertical video on that. Chat, by the way, Joel coming in hot saying yellow hat and all looking like a Beastie Boy, which fair point.
Yeah, I look like a beastie boy, something like that.
Yeah,
someone had to step in there with me.
Yeah. Val with the
No.
typical the Canadian way of putting in your 2 weeks notice and then going on vacation for 2 weeks.
Isn't that a standard move? I feel like that's a standard move. You want to
I
use
think
that
so.
vacay.
You got to. Wait, you got vacay?
Yeah, I was also going to use the example of maternity and paternity leave. Probably a sore spot for you as well, given you don't have that where you come from. Hello, chat. Who came with us? Who Jerry Maguire along with us?
Because you're all fools.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you got replaced after you quit as your role as creative director by the very real sounding Jake Jacobson.
Jake
What?
Jacobson.
Yeah.
Jake Jacobson is a wonderful man. I love Jake. He's a incredible guy.
I think he was pretty close with John Johnson. Was also pretty in the close there.
Jake Jacobson is a real person, and actually like a really essential person. If you've noticed that Frontline's like marketing and stuff kind of looked professional all of a sudden, it's because of Jake Jacobson and his totally not fake name.
Yeah. And that who would just make up a name?
Continues a long line of creative directors with totally not fake names.
Yeah, we have chat letting us know William Williams got really far
sure.
as well. Maybe Albert Albertson too.
Mhm.
But yeah, we're over here. So yeah, that's what happened. We are now just flying solo. Seat of our pants.
That's cool. Also,
We're the wind beneath our wings.
you are the wind beneath my wings. Well, not really. I
So
was flying in a lot. Did a lot of air travel. Felt bad for the environment. That's for sure.
Yeah. In
Val,
the end, you're worth it, though, right?
And it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
Yeah.
Chat, that's why he's not wearing his glasses right now. It's the carbon offset from all of the plane travel that he's been doing.
Yeah, offset.
That works.
We gotta do a competition to see what the new glasses should be.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we could figure out a way to get glasses which have like working curtains on them, so you can just draw the curtains back.
When I was a young,
maybe we can get Jake on this.
We go crawling back immediately. When I was a young Heffelfinger, I used to think that the coolest thing that existed, period, were fucking like sunglasses with windshield wipers.
Oh sure,
yeah. You can like operate with like a little squeeze thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Maybe that's what we got to do.
El Ciedo saying, so can y'all swear now? Fuck no. We cannot. We want to
not be. You want to not swear, I think, within the first minute or so. There's some sort of there's like legitimately like there's a cutoff where you're not supposed to swear on YouTube, and then after that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're messing around with algorithm here.
Unless they're like where we're going. Slurs. Never.
In which case, just first minute is when you have to put your slurs in.
Mm-hmm. Right. Drive that. I chewing right into the mic there. I don't know why.
No, you're good. Hey, if you want to
throw up those wings, please.
Yeah. Throw up slide 3 here because it's Val's favorite thing in the world. Here, we're gonna actual discussion of the game of Warhammer 40,000 is coming.
No.
So Val, you have your ability to you can eat your chicken wings. Swear it up, boys. From Miguel Fuentes, Miguel. There's a million other words in the English language, and then we can use the words like fuck, which we could use before. Yeah, nothing but love for Frontline. Moving on, slide 4. Okay. You feel me?
Did that not come across?
Oh, are we talking about Warhammer yet? I thought
in case it isn't known, like it's tremendously amicable, conscious decoupling, if you will, from our friends at Frontline Gaming.
Yeah. You could say they're still
we've been on the record about Seth for years. I mean, like we know the truth about Seth, and we've been saying this the whole time. So like, there's no surprises coming there. There's no shoe dropping. We all know what the game is there, people. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to my boys Reese and Frankie, kicker, that guy Jake Jacobson, good people, you know.
Yeah. And they're still the best place to buy your Warhammer supplies from, but only if you use tinyurl.com/40kgrim. I heard that gives you some kickbacks.
I'm going to add that to my link, the Grim After Dark link tree, which I've been putting together.
Yeah, you made it making us all professional. We love that there. Disflux saying that's 2 F-bombs. We're no longer PG-13. Time to put the kids to bed.
We've been swearing the whole time.
But literally
honestly, if your kids are still here, you're a bad parent.
Or you couldn't get a sitter and they won't go to bed and you're just watching it, hoping that they go to sleep. But back to actual Warhammer talk. Danny, brand new Farsight model coming as part of a boarding action box. Tell me, I stole all of these pictures directly from Warhammer community, as will be the tradition going forward. That's a new Farsight. Val, you are going to learn so goddamn much about Warhammer. In fact, when 10th edition rolls around this summer, most likely we're going to have a segment called We Force Val to Play Warhammer 40k, and I'm very excited for it. But yeah, so Danny, thoughts on this new Farsight model? He's very similar pose-wise to the
pose
old one.
Is great. Like the little trees on the base are amazing. Like the little cherry trees. He's also got that cool like artifact in his gauntlet. So I wonder if his rules might get updated. That would be really cool.
That would be
or it could be just his vampire sword that sucks people's souls out and keeps them alive for a really long time. Who knows? Yeah.
I mean, yeah. That's...
Can I see the commander again there?
Mr. Farsight?
Dickie? All right. I'd say that's a different pose though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I do like the Japanese cherry blossoms going on. That's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say the question I had from that, Danny, and this is a callback from last week, from the end of season 6 extravaganza we did, is this Farsight model the thing that Hailstorm Mikey was talking about is what would anger both anime fans and Warhammer fans at the same time? Or is this miniature more of a uniter between these two awful communities?
Yeah, so I would propose that it's probably more of a union maker between these two sects of degenerates. Rather than like anything that would draw them apart. There's a shared beauty here that I think that they can appreciate, even through their stunted minds. I think it's something everyone can like.
That's fair. Chat, by the way, coming in quick saying, in exchange for a forcing Val to learn 40k segment, the rest of the show should learn Old World. Guys, that would literally just be me. Danny literally played fantasy this weekend, right?
I did.
Dickie and Val play fantasy together quite frequently. So yeah, that would literally just be make John learn how to play a game where you actually have to think. Guys, I run Chaos Knights. We're going to go through this in a second here. It's a no-brainer. I love it.
Yeah.
I call it my poker chip move because you just grab all of your things and you push them up the center of the table.
All in.
That's a good
All
one.
in, baby. All in, baby. Make out a t-shirt. Give us money.
Do you have some sort of sound effect that you can do while you do that? Like some hokey addition, maybe a special hat you put on?
Oh,
brother,
or some like really lame wraparound shades.
We're gonna be going over. I'm very excited about. Danny and I are both going to the GW Open in Tacoma, so I want to be going through the current iteration of the list, and we're gonna maybe be talking about how that changes up through July.
So we're
in a sec.
We're off the FLGN, and we're going to GW events.
Oh yeah.
Who got to you, man?
Mike Brent.
Oh, he's a good guy.
He asked me 6 times if I would. And it was the 6th time. I was like, no. No, it's a big event near to my house. And as much as we love our friends at FLG, they tend to not go any farther north than California. So big Seattle events is something I can easily get to. So that's what got me. Kelsey, there will be Grim merch coming, but I have to work to actually how to write a show first. So next year or so. But pulling you back in here a little bit here, away from your wings, Val, is this meme I've been saving for about 2 months, which I call Taugotiations.
Are we sponsored by Bubbly now?
Which coming up here. They might be. But if you ever feel stupid, remember that the Tau tried to negotiate with the Tyranids 3 separate times.
Wow.
Which... good for the greater good, but Danny, how did that first round of negotiations go?
I'm pretty sure that went pretty poorly, John. Maybe they tried the old flashing lights on the helicopter trick. But it just shows that the Tau are persistent. So regardless of their failures, maybe they were hoping that they understood them now after taking some Tau samples the first 2-3 times.
And Val, let's not forget the 4th time when Will Smith flew his jet fighter into the center of the Tau biomass and gloriously exploded it.
I wanted to say real quick to
Sunshark bombers.
In chat, Mark Murphy, I see your I think you should leave reference, and I very much appreciate it. That's a phenomenal show. Val, what did the Tau offer the Tyranids? Like, what did they show up and offer them in order to not have their entire planet consumed?
A firm handshake, wide open arms, and a cloven hoof of friendly providence.
And famously, socialized medicine.
Socialized medicine.
Sir, I see you just emerged.
Cherry on top there.
Little did the Tau realize that the Tyranids just melt their problems away in those gene pool things.
I was like, sir, I see you emerged from a vat of goo with some spikes sticking out of you. We can take care of that, and we won't bill you for it. It's socialism.
Look at all of a sudden you all have hooves. Was that us? Did we do
that? Danny, what was the mood in the Tau negotiation camp before the third attempt at negotiations. How were those Tau feeling?
Optimistic, John. They felt like maybe they could give this one more shot. Don't miss your chance. Just really, making sure that they gave it their all one more time. Just the old Tau try.
That they were just like, they brutally murdered the first team before they could speak. And then they brutally murdered the second team before they could speak. But this time...
But maybe they're tired of murder now.
We brought a little flower tree that we found near Mr. Farsight. Beautiful. I love it. It's a great model. I'm a little sad, Danny. I don't know if you are, that it's part of a boarding patrol box or boarding action box and it's not available separately. What's the thoughts on that?
For now, I mean.
For sure.
I don't mind, because I think I might. Well, yeah, I don't mind. I think that I think it does kind of stink if you don't want those units, but they're good ubiquitous Tau units. You get a set of Fire Warriors and a set of Crisis Suits, which pretty much every Tau army is going to want some. So it's not that bad of a loss. And plus boarding patrol, if you can take Farsight in that sounds really cool.
Oh, baby, yeah. Speaking of boarding
patrol, the Hill Team release or like the special scenario narrative campaign book that didn't have any rules in it?
So these are like small patrol level games, so like 500-point games that you can play that have like kind of a focus on boarding actions. And they've released new rules in every supplement that's come out for these, but they're not like they're not like competitive. They're not designed to be competitive. But they are really fun. I played it a couple of times now. It's pretty cool.
So moving on, more boarding patrol action as our second reveal from Warhammer Open Day came with this gentleman here, again lovingly stolen from the Warhammer community page. Dude, okay, my new favorite thing about Grim 2.0 is Val learning about Warhammer for the first time ever. That was wonderful. Val, who are we looking at?
We're looking at my boy Snickrot. Hey, What's going on? Yeah, big lock. Look at him. He looks exactly the same. Bring him on. Can we get a side-by-side? I don't even think they fucking... What's different about him? It's not Finecast? What is different about him?
He comes with the smoke grenade. Actually,
yeah, they took away his shushing finger.
That's rude. It's 2023, Val. You can't
maybe you're not. Maybe it's not. You're not allowed to shush anymore. What the fuck?
Terrible. Yeah, Danny, Val, what are your takes on this update of the mod? Like I said, we're missing the shushing finger, but we now have 2 head options, and then we also have a little smoke grenade.
Yeah, a little puff of smoke. I mean, it's not so bad. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, Snickrot's like the best.
One of my favorite orc characters. Like it was always really chunky. Like, hey, I'm the stealthy guy, but I'm also 800 pounds of mushroom muscle.
And like also his armbands being made of dog tags probably aren't very quiet. Like when they juggle around.
I didn't notice that. That's a great little detail.
Yeah. Let me just don't call. Okay. All right, here we go. Yep, no, it's filled with dog tags. He also, I think another downside is, and you can't really confirm this on the old Snickrot, but he's really got that pig face orc look going hard, which is the accepted orc style now. But I'm not a big pig face orc guy. I mean, overall though, you love to see a new version of Snickrot. He looks like he's taking up a little bit more of his 40mm base there, but not by much. I would bet this guy's mass is about the same. I would say he's probably not that much bigger, which is kind of cool. I mean, Snickrot was a fairly large guy, even in Finecast.
Do you guys feel this is like kind of a good upgrade to this, or is this sort of like a side grade to get the character away from Finecast?
I mean, look, like any kind of rescue from the horrible realities of being stuck in Finecast is fantastic. It's great. I mean, no one's thumbing their nose at this. I do miss the shush. I wonder if the shush might be maybe there's an alternate pose with the shush.
Yeah, I don't know. That's possible.
Feel like I'm surprised. I'm just surprised there's no shush.
Yeah,
it's iconic.
Yeah, speaking of shush. speaking of shush, I want to throw this slide up here one more time on number 7 here. I'm so sorry. I'm just really excited about my mans. And Danny, I made a special slide for this next one to talk about my exciting Chaos Knight list that I'm super just... Okay. It's the right level of John, because it contains something that no one should really actually take, because there's much better options for about the same points. But throw it up there. Pain we can believe in is what I call my little list, because it has Knight Abominant. Danny G, I see you peering.
Oh. Why? What? Why? So I don't understand. All right. So is the Knight? Is it a Knight Obama-mint? Is that the joke?
Yep, that is the joke. It's an Obama-mint. I mean, I would be less hurt if we hadn't been making this exact joke for about 1.5 years, Danny, in private. But I do appreciate.
So is it like how many little knights is it? Like 10?
Oh, dude, it's like 11. It's okay. It's essentially it's just 7 stalkers and it was 10. Yeah, so 7 stalkers, 3 executioners, and then Obama with a corn upgrade to remove those dirty psychic powers. Because sorry, Danny, you look confused.
Yeah, why would you do that?
So I took him. So I went to this, and again, Val bunny ears here, but I went to a friendly event this Saturday. That is the weird part. But I took a powered down night list. Obviously, I wanted the spirit of a friendly, fun event. And I had a lot of fun with his little flail arm with that extra attack and all this other stuff. And now that Armor of Contempt is gone, that little scourge is a lot more fun. So we're going to see how it goes with just Obama. And as to your question earlier, Val, what's up, buddy?
You're calling him Obama.
It's Obama. It's an Obama-mint.
All right.
It's my southernness coming out here.
Obama. Sweet home Alabama. Got it.
So yeah, that's the current thing. That's the thing here. Apparently, the chat's letting us know Danny is a hater, and your rage knows no bounds. Like, I didn't get rage. I got just bored disappointment and wondering.
It's just general disappointment. It's not boredom. I mean, I just, have that general malaise.
I will.
So disappointing, John.
be modifying the Obama, as I'm just going to keep changing the name of it.
Yeah, okay.
To have a speaker, little Bluetooth speaker in it. So when he does make that poker chip move up the table, I can play rousing campaign speeches from the center of him the whole time and just see how many terms of services I can violate. It's beautiful. I'm excited. Sorry, guys. My excitement will go away now as we go back to memes.
Okay.
Hey, boys, this is an old one, too, that I've been saving onto for a few weeks. So it's not like I've been hiding the good stuff. There's just been nowhere for it. Age of Sigmar is a game system. This little boy came out. He's a very popular little boy, very memed. Danny, what is he?
He's like the Sky Dwarves, like he's their lawyer, more or less. He's got all these books on the different laws and things that in the contracts that the Skylords like use. He's pretty cool.
Why did you guys think he's been a popular kind of meme character and people using, like, I put like 3 different ones up here. What's made him so memeable?
Well, he's unlike most dwarfs, he's very amenable to all sorts of interpretations. He's not close-minded. He's open-minded, in fact. He is a Caradron overlord, a man who floats through the sky in steampunk zeppelins.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Beautiful. I couldn't have mispronounced a word to make you say that any better.
Mm-hmm.
What books are in there? Like on his rack, what books are there?
Well,
Arcanauts for Dummies. That's the first one I noted that's in there. You can tell it's the yellow one.
100% the unabridged short stories of Ernest Hemingway. And then the rest of them are just like those books that are actually hollowed out, and just filled with methamphetamines.
Because that gets the people going. Like,
It's
really.
That's what they use the airships for. The airships are for smuggling meth.
Beardlings love meth. I mean, as do, from what I can tell, AOS players.
Let me just double check here that we ask that you do not talk about drugs, politics, or religion. Perfect. All right, we're on brand. What is his greatest weakness, and why is it rain?
You think the bookworm goes outside a lot? Is that like for real? This guy stays inside the ship. He only gets out if it's a nice sunny day.
Yeah, bro, that's heavy duty parchment, man. Like, rain's not ruining that.
Let's line it up. He plays against the little sea elf people. Like, they're just throwing waves at him. He's like, hey guys, my books, you can't get those wet.
I don't think the Aether Sea is actually wet, John.
I mean, for you maybe.
Oh shit, little sky dwarf. Oh shit, little sky dwarf. I didn't know you'd like to get wet.
Why didn't we call this episode Wet Us Aether? Oh my gosh. Not too much sun though. Chad's coming.
Because there's only one WAP, John, and I want to talk about that, and that's Warhammer Army's project.
When do we talk about the good stuff?
Yeah.
Talk about your WAP. Go.
I mean, I played some Warhammer's Army project. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
What inspired you to finally whip out the WAP?
So I have a friend here that I go to school with, and he
new things clearly.
Sure. Well, no, he's into it. He bought a whole Empire army. He's been building. He's got like 3 different armies he wants to play. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'll indulge that itch.
Once you start one, you just can't stop.
Yeah,
you can't stop. It is.
I forgot how much fun it is, dude.
It is a very collectible whole thing. I think I almost got them all now.
Yeah.
Now, what? So you played Wood Elves into his empire?
I did. My tree man got a tree whack on his wizard, which was the highlight of the game for me.
Love a good whack of the wizard.
Yeah. Oh man, everybody loves a good game of Whack the Wizard.
Mm-hmm.
But I managed to kind of tie up his Griffin and Inner Circle Reichsguard on the other side of the table, which was great for me, and shoot them as they came in, which is what elves are wont to do.
Now, with the move to WAP from, and I'm sure your most recent experience would have been 8th edition.
Sure.
What did you think of the system? Like, did you guys just dive right in? Did you watch some battle reports?
No. Like, well, first of all, I was playing like on autopilot almost because 8th edition just came back to me like magically while I was playing. It's
never far from your heart. It's never far from your heart.
For real. So, and then I'm like, oh, this works differently now because I had, there's a changes document, which is super helpful. Although I think it might be a little outdated.
Super outdated. Yeah, that's from like one of the original 9th edition WAP editions.
But some of the stuff did still translate over some of the major things. So.
Cool. Well, I think we should probably return to John hosting the show because he's about halfway through what sounds like a licensed version of Baby Shark, the movie.
Oh.
And let's see what's happening here.
I know.
Hey, John.
Just playing Super Mario World. Man, I love Warhammer though. WAP. I'm for it. I'm gonna learn it. Well, I probably won't learn WAP. I'll probably learn Old World.
Fair.
Fair.
See what happens.
We'll go from there.
Calling that one for Q2, guys. So look you guys till September, October. That's what I'm feeling.
Phase 2 of Grim After Dark.
Phase 2 of the Grim After Dark multiverse. WAP. Hey, this next slide I called Proxy My Ass. And this was an amazing model that I found.
There's no stand-in for your ass, buddy. It's one of a kind.
Thank you. Yeah, it's this beautiful Baneblade, I think. Danny, what are we looking at?
That's not a Baneblade.
It might be a Shadow Sword. It kind of looks like a giant basilisk combined with the Baneblade.
That's a heresy tank. Am I crazy?
I mean, that's a wooden tank, Val. I don't think they had those in the heresy.
It is pretty heretical.
This is Warhammer 5K.
Did they make that on a 5K printer?
This is Warhammer 360p.
Nice.
This is where it's.
You didn't like that? You guys don't stand for that. I like that he used plastic parts.
I mean,
where like it adds like where the texture is required. If this was primed and like painted, I don't know. You wouldn't look at it and be like, that's a bunch of balsa or whatever it is.
Well, you'd be able to smell it about 3 stores away. That's the problem.
We all got some. We all got some strange smells coming from our models. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Daddy, my dude, chat coming in strong, letting us know this is perfect for our podcast listeners. Please. Oh, Val, please.
Well, I was going to say that actually, I was listening to last week's episode on the plane this afternoon, and we are a terrible podcast. Absolutely terrible. Yeah. So many times I was like, "What the fuck are we talking about?" And we're it's awful. So watch on YouTube. I think there's the only answer.
We're the best.
We're not going to get better at anything, really. But maybe
we appreciate your support.
Certainly not podcasting.
But keep downloading it though. That's really helpful for us to take to people. But yeah, absolutely, Danny. We can be accused of being a little too positive at times. So I found this guy here. It's the 40K Doom poster.
Oh, this is good.
Well, what are we looking at here? This looks like a good 20 minutes content.
This is like an angry, like, I don't know, what is that, a Sojak? Is that a Sojak? Is that what that's called?
I believe it's pronounced
Sojak?
Saul.
Whatever. I don't care. Anyway, some poorly drawn caricature of an angry man crying, calling it a 40K Doom poster, and then listing all of the things that this person purportedly does, such as LARPs as a conservative traditional Catholic, thinks Tau don't fit in the setting, comments heresy all the time on social media. Hold up a second here,
Danny, 2 seconds. I just have to keep adult language at a reasonable level. Do not talk about drugs, politics, or religion in a way that moves it forward. Yeah, okay, we're good. Sorry, please continue.
John, this is your fault. You put this content up.
It's almost like I planned the bit.
I think there's a lot of good. This is a pretty solid bingo card for like the worst part of people who play Warhammer.
Yeah,
there's a lot of terrible on this list.
Our friend Joe has way too many hours in Hearts of Iron 4 and Europa Universalis 4. I would imagine.
It's a red flag though.
That's fair. Is this what this is? It's like not Doom posters, but like hobby red flags.
Yeah.
Like if your fan gets mad at fan artists who have been in the fandom longer than they have, is that a red flag, or is that also gatekeeping getting mad?
The bottom left hand corner here, two bangers. I think genuinely thinks no one played competitively till 8th, followed by still bitches about Matt Ward. Like, as a guy who lives steeped deep in 8th edition fantasy, that is a thing, and that is a vibe that exists out there for sure.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. Danny, what do you think about that, where it says that genuinely thinks no one played competitively till 8th edition? Because there has been sort of like a thought. I mean, obviously, like it isn't true, but where do you think this feeling comes from? Because it's not the first time I've heard this or read it. Is the idea that it wasn't a competitive game until around 8th?
I think 8th edition was the first real attempt to kind of actually balance the game, like in a holistic sense, for the purpose of it being balanced. So
the game, yeah.
maybe that's why they felt that way. But people were definitely playing competitively in 7th and 6th and 5th and a little bit in 4th. I
was going to say, one of my greatest tournament memories is showing up at tournaments in 6th edition when people would have multiple models with them, and then they would look at what everyone else brought in order to make their list. Hey, Justin, how you doing?
I don't know who did that to you, but you do bring it up a lot, and I think you can let go. I think you can let go.
So. I think it's time to let go. I will record a video in my truck while I'm driving, saying that I forgive those who have done that there. here we go. Constantly rants about how this model or that model is going to flop because it's soulless garbage. How do you feel about Farsight? Do you think he's going to flop because it's soulless garbage?
I mean, well, look at it, Snick Rot there. I mean, that kind of was my point. He's missing a bit of that je ne sais quoi that the OG Snick Rat had. Perhaps he is missing his soul. Perhaps capitalism took it.
It's a big concern with orc warbands. It's the rise of capitalism.
Oh yes.
Ironically, the teeth structure that is a concern. But yeah, lots of cool things, as Val said. A lot of hobby red flags. Maybe we need to tell Dickie about 3 minutes before we go to air that we need a red flag animation.
I think like 90% of those are bad.
What's the 10% that is good? Let's be positive.
Pull it back up. Pull it back up. We're gonna find some good here. I remember I saw one in the corner. I was like, okay, yeah, that's true. Oh, never mind. I read it wrong. Well, they're all bad. Sorry, my mistake.
I got a question. I think this is kind of a deep cut, though. What is the dig behind got into Warhammer 40k during Warzone Fenris? What's that? Is that like?
I think that's like, when.
Is that Gilliman coming?
That was Magnus, right? Magnus.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's Magnus. Yep. Yeah. Okay. That is an interesting turning point. Magnus being released is kind of the beginning of new 40k.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's true.
Well, it's sort of like it's the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, like the signaling of the end of the edition is like you get these like campaigns coming out, these really powerful characters coming out, and kind of like a lack of balance overall in game state as they're kind of focusing on that 10th edition. I'm sorry, did I say 10th edition? I meant new edition. But anyway, we'll just be happy with our.
Let's just think about that for a second, because it is a normal thing. It is a normal thing, and if it's because of their hands not on the wheel anymore, and they're just like, yo, so we got to focus on some other stuff. So let's just give them a bunch of things to deal with, and then we'll come back and we'll have some new stuff. Would you think that like if you're like steering a ship, that you would like maybe like, I don't know, wedge like a 2x4 under the wheel so that's going in a straight line? You wouldn't like break the fucking wheel off and cram the 2x4 on the accelerator, which is what they always do, and then just leave. And then like why is that the way it ends?
It's just Dale from King of the Hill with just pocket sand, but instead of sand, it's giant models.
I mean, I think it's purposeful, right? Like
you break it. Is breaking it on purpose?
Yeah, I mean, I think they want people not to look necessarily fondly back on the old edition and just keep playing that. If they make it really terrible, then they will stop and then they'll just play the new edition instead.
Fucking scorch earth, eh?
I mean, kind of, like, but I don't blame them for that. Really, I'd want people to be playing the new version.
Thank God they balanced 40k. It was really bad with all of these characters and rules that came out. When did those come out? Last 3 months? Oh, okay. That's fine. It's the same as we have chat requesting here. They want a live shot of Dickie in the studio. I'm assuming this is some of like assuring he's alive sort of thing.
Oh, I'm here, guys. I don't know, but Val, I wanted to apologize. Your mute button was off. It was just unplugged there. Sorry, man.
I see. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Also, just looking at all the inputs in the scene there, Dickie, I can see why this show literally lights on fire.
Yeah, my computer's not doing well. It is not.
This is well beyond its ability to handle or cope with at all.
It's bad. It's bad. I'm out of here.
I do appreciate we made Dickie search for a very good picture of a single button so we could make a joke at the start of the show, and then we just didn't do it.
I ruined it. That was my bad.
It's all good. So that's sort of funny. It can go on the wall of failed jokes. That should be a slide that we'll add in there. It's going to be a big wall. Big wall.
Big wall.
This next one we have here is, I found this on Reddit. It says, I think this is a good way to start on my Space Marines. Limited colors, so I'm thinking Ultramarines. What it's a picture of is a Adeptus Custodes starter box, some Elmer's glue, and some gel pens. Danny, is this a good way to start Space Marines?
Absolutely.
Why?
Why not, John? I mean, look, this everybody's got to start somewhere, and sometimes you have to fail before you can succeed. So I think this is fine, and somebody will definitely recover from this.
That's fair. On a more serious note, guys, Val, Danny, you guys are hobbyists. What are your hobby hacks? So like everyday items that you swear by and use in your hobbying that aren't necessarily specific hobby tools. Like this crazy man's using blow pens for Custodes to make them Space Marines. What are your hobby hacks?
The way that blow pen is spelled looks kind of sexual to me. I don't know about you guys.
Have you ever used one of those before, Val?
I'm intrigued.
It is sexual.
I have not used a blow pen, but it's on my list of things to do. It's going on the board, boys. I think I've said it before. I'll say it again. I have a nail trimmer for like pets. It's actually a Dremel brand nail trimmer. It's just a little battery operated Dremel, and it is my number one favorite hobby tool. Changes the game as far as like cleaning flash is concerned. If you ever have to work with resin or things bootleg from China, if you have to work with 3D prints, anything that you want to like be able to sand things down in a very precise way, is an incredible tool.
Nice.
Low RPMs, and it's low enough. The problem with most Dremels is the very high RPM. You're going to melt your plastic or whatever. In this case, nice low RPMs. By the way, if we're not on the FLGN, and I'm the former FLGN director, why do we still have the FLGN logo?
I forgot to take the logos off. I'm sorry.
The studio's on fire. We updated the logo several times until Val.
I would have done it, but I had to download this picture of a button for the joke that didn't happen.
And thank goodness you did.
Yeah.
It's the applause button, and that's why there's been none. Danny, what about you? What is your everyday item you use?
I have gold colored Sharpies that I use quite often if I'm painting trim. Those things are pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Like you can just color on stuff and then wash it. And it's like, oh yeah, that looks pretty good.
It's gold.
Yeah.
It's good. What is an expensive or regular hobby item that you use for all your projects and you swear by on what makes it good? I'm going to start with mine here. I'm going to just say, we made it so we laughed about it a little bit at LVO, but the Army Painter wet palette is actually really good. Wet ass palette. And I use that for all of my stuff now.
Can we create the Grim After Dark wet ass palette?
Oh, yeah. Hey, you got contacts with the Army Painter? Do you think they'll do licensed merch?
Yeah, why not?
Do it.
We just slap a Grim After Dark. Fuck it, man.
Wet ass palette.
I'll just send them all the stickers I have left. They're not going to need more than 20, 25 stickers anyway.
We'll kickstart this. The wet ass palette. It is the wettest ass palette you've ever used in your life.
It's made as cheaply as possible in a foreign country to maximize profit.
Dripping.
The description.
You
fucking paintbrush.
Never had your paint so damp.
So damp.
Your paint's been damp for days.
God damn.
Danny, but for real, like Danny, what's a hobby thing that you use? That people are like, oh.
Yeah. Well, I bought $60 sprue cutters like last summer. I was pretty happy about that. That was definitely worth it. I got some God Hand ones, and those are just like, it's like cutting through butter whenever I trim sprues.
Yo, what's the name of this fucking brand of sprue cutter? I'm buying them right now.
It's literally,
they're called the God Hand.
They're God Hands?
Yeah, God Hand.
Good fucking yeah. I'm getting I'm spending dialing up $60 worth of sprue cutter. You kidding me?
Can I just say, I bought the new official GW ones. That like these are really good, man. These are like the best clippers we've ever done. They were close to $60 too. They're not great. They're just
my most expensive hobby only thing is a static grass applicator, which also looks like a sex toy, but like
does it work good?
But does it work good? I think I just don't know what I'm doing.
It's like, why don't you ask Mrs. Heffelfinger how the static grass is?
When I used to work at the hobby shop, we used to sell one in the train section, and I was always like, man, do you think I could maybe? I don't know, unless. And then I'm just like, no. But
You know?
No, it's like $60.
This thing was more than that,
And I
and
was very poor at the time.
ordered from Spain, and it was because a dear friend. Well, actually, he became my 3D printing sensei. Printed off. When I was first starting up fantasy, I said I needed a babbling brook, and this guy fucking printed, I would say, 12 to 20 feet worth of river for me. So
Nice.
like I have like the longest, most incredible river like set, but it needs to be hobbied up and ready to go.
Yeah,
that's the whole story. So I needed to spend a lot of money on a static grass applicator.
Of course, that only makes sense.
What
You justify that very well.
What are some tips?
Did you just hoot a vape?
What's that?
Did you just hoot a vape?
No, I did not. No. Let me just check here real quick. No. Let's double check here. Keep it language to a reasonable level. No, we ask you to not talk about drugs, politics, or religion. It would be fine if I did, but I didn't.
You can do drugs.
Yeah, just don't talk about it.
I was just thinking with my thumb, unless this thumb be a vape pen. What is this, high school? Leave me alone.
What is this, a high school bathroom? Kids love it. Can't stop. Nor will they ever.
Guys, what tips would you give a beginner? Because obviously Elmer's glue and blow pens are not great. What tips have you given beginner hobbyists to get them on the way?
Easy. Please return all of the things you bought. You'll thank me for it in 20 years.
Yeah. And if you think nah, man, I'm like lost my receipt, just throw it all in the garbage. Just throw it like right now, like that is just throw it in the trash, and then like step on the trash, like grind
or mail it
around as hard as you can,
or mail it to this address at the bottom of the screen, and we will dispose of it properly.
Mm-hmm.
There's no address. No, we're not doing that. Moving on. We do. Amazing.
Sure.
Moving on, there is some dice-based shenanigans reported. Oh, is that a celery stick or a vape pen?
What are you doing?
He's vaping.
I was trying to eat some celery without making a lot of noise.
It's funnier if you just make noise.
Oh my god. Yeah, and like for our podcast listeners, it's important to know at this point that Val has just been chowing down this whole episode, eating chicken wings and various carrots and pieces of celery.
I'm like Brad Pitt.
What? Wow. What does that even mean?
Brad Pitt's always like chewing something, like he's always eating in all of his movies. He's always he's always casually snacking.
Like what?
I forgot in 7 when he's yelling, "What's in the box?" while holding a Big Mac.
No, he's sipping on a milkshake. You don't remember the milkshake in that scene?
I remember the corn dog, but not the milkshake.
Oh, wonderful. Hey, so there was some shenanigans, or reported, or I guess hinted at shenanigans here, spotted by Beaky or Leaky Cheese on Twitter, who said, "Anyone know where we can order the new Games Workshop magnetic dice from, as previewed on Warhammer Plus?" Danny, Val, do you guys think that they would rig battle reports to make Desolation Marines look just amazing?
What is the implication here? The implication here is that Games Workshop has developed cheating dice technology,
or just that is the implication,
or that an editor somehow didn't quit before an entire episode was edited and was able to just cut out the bad dice rolls.
I mean, there's no hands, so we can't tell who's actually playing. But if you like, Dickie, pull up the video. We'll let the guys decide for themselves.
Whoa!
What?
What is
guys,
that?
So Danny, tell me, Danny, what are we seeing here?
Yikes! Great question, John. That's a weird quiver on those dice.
Weird. Why?
Oh my god!
What is the purpose of this?
Enhance. Danny, is this a weird wobble or is this a magnetic super dice roller?
dude, that's I don't have words for that. That is bizarre. Like, why would they even do? I don't know. I mean, I guess what you could lie about the dice rolls. You don't even have to show them.
You could just roll the dice until the right numbers come up. Like, you don't need a guy in the fucking grassy knoll throwing an extra magnetic dice. You can just edit. You can just edit whatever dice you want. What could that possibly be? What could that possibly be? What are we actually seeing? I thought I saw it too many times. I was going to be mad at Dickie for playing it so many times. I need to see it again. What are we seeing? Let us look at this again. One more time. What is that?
Guys, I think this is a great example of why you should watch the video live every Monday night on YouTube. 40K Graham.
Yeah, so these two dice roll, and they just kind of like they get to 5 and 3, and then just kind of wobble and stop, like they can't go any further.
They
yeah, exactly.
Roll around as if being magnetically drawn down.
Yeah, the down force was acting upon them.
I want to think that what happened was they just tried to fake the dice roll, but they spent an hour and a half, and the dice never rolled above a 3. So they were like, God damn it, no. And then they just invented magnetic dice in a tray for
the magnet dice.
Are there any working?
I'm just, one of their names is.
This is too much to just drop on me like this. So I don't have. Are there any working theories? Like, does anyone have any guesses as to actually what we are seeing?
If we look at chat right now, they come in and they say, if you slow it down, Dickie, get ready for this. If you slow it down, I think it changes. I think it changes from a 5 to a 3. So let's make sure Dickie's computer can handle this. Let's go.
We're at 40%.
Just try. Can you put it at like
okay? All right.
Slower speed.
No, there's no slower speed option.
All right, put it at 1. We got 3. I don't know.
Hold on. Do it one more time. No, it's 3.
No, it just turns. Scott, you're wrong. It's terrible.
Wild.
Sorry, Scott.
That video blew my mind.
That video was very rough video.
Like, what is the purpose of technology that allows your dice to roll a 5 and a 3? Like, I mean,
so you can cheat, but not obviously. Like, if it bobbled into the exact number.
What is not obvious about if that being a not real thing? That was the most obvious not real thing I've ever seen.
Hey.
Wow.
Is that? Can you look at your code book and see if we're allowed to talk about this?
I was gonna say. I was gonna see.
Do we still have a style guide?
We have to change it up a little bit because it was the FLGN style guide, which has been condensed to a single page. But we can have like a Grim style guide. We don't have style or a guide.
We're developing it. We're developing it.
Developing it as it goes. There has been requests from chat every time.
Now there's magnetic dice. Like, this is too much. How much is left in the show? I gotta fucking decompress, man. This is crazy.
Like 6
Get
minutes.
ready. We still have another hour.
That's right, guys. It's longer and worse. No, it's not. But there has been requests in the chat for any time that fantasy is mentioned, John just starts playing his Switch. Which I think is a quality bit, but I would also like to learn about fantasy. So I'm a bit of a crossroads on that one.
Well, you'll just have to tune in live on Thursday mornings to The Honest Wargamer, where I just talk about fantasy.
Or, Monday nights of the Grim After Dark YouTube channel where you just talk about fantasy.
As I continue to drag this show into the abyss. Excellent.
Perfect. No, that's for me. That was me as soon as I started to add actual Warhammer to the show. My bad. Moving on. The Royal Navy, the British Royal Navy, posted this on Twitter saying sailors from HMS Protector played possibly the world's most southerly game of 40K when their ship visited Rothera base. The finely crafted miniature armies of John Talbot and Max Friswell fought it out in the snow and ice. I believe is Let's. They wouldn't shorten that. It's not like Twitter has limits. Ice of the British Antarctic Survey outpost during the latest patrol by their ridden icebreaker around the Antarctic Peninsula. Danny, how do you feel the Navy is using Warhammer as a propaganda piece to promote the globe Earth theory?
Well, sorry, it took me a second to really kind of bring that all together. And you know what? I'm very disappointed in them for bringing such a wild fringe science to the fore and not accepting flat Earth as being absolutely and 100% unequivocally correct.
Oh, I'm going to clip that. Yep.
Yeah. Perfect. Dickie letting us know he's going to clip that even better. They did share a picture. They did share a picture of those guys playing that game. Danny, Val, are you surprised that the British Navy uses Frontline Gaming's tournaments to terrain setup?
Dang.
You get one a show.
I'm surprised that they managed to find space on the ice wall to set up like that.
Now, do you think he's just posing for the camera there? Like, I mean, I'm not sure that there's really any game happening at all.
No.
It looks to me as though he's just sort of put some models down and he's holding a tape measure and a handful of what are probably magnetic dice. But
this whole
Games Workshop wasn't thinking.
None of
Games
this
Workshop
is real.
wasn't thinking because when you're in the magnetic north, where's your dice going to land? Games Workshop.
So it was meant to land on a 4, but because they were in the magnetic south, it landed on a 3. So embarrassing.
I don't know. I think it's kind of neat. I actually was wondering to myself whether or not, like, there's certainly been Warhammer nerds down in Antarctica, and there's not a lot to do. I'm sure people have painted minis down there for sure.
Absolutely, for sure. It's the only place on Earth that's slightly cheaper than Australia to buy miniatures.
I will say one thing I'm kind of disappointed in. It doesn't look like their armies were all snow-based, and so it didn't really fit in with the terrain on the table. It doesn't look 100% great.
Do you think the photographer was like, "Hey, can you just set that up so I can take some pictures?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm really cold." Like, no. And it was like, "No, I need you to just play the game." Like, we didn't even bring our gloves. I would rather not play this game right now. And it was like, as a photographer, I outrank you, so I'm ordering you to pretend to play.
Like that almost looks to me like an AI generated image of two guys playing Warhammer in Antarctica. Like he's just literally just holding 3 dice in one hand and gesturing wildly with a tape measure.
Looks to me like about the same level of quality as the moon landing.
Also, why is the Royal Navy? I see what you did there. Flat earthing and
I'm going. That's going to be a recurring segment now.
We're really playing to the 2011 algorithm of YouTube to try and
it right
now,
get
our audience.
Brother, while you were off, we talked about eating Tide Pods. We were down with all of the kids kind of things, and definitely not 10-year-old references.
You're ripping a jewel. Like we're gonna get those Gen wires, no problem. Sick.
Perfect.
What's Gen audience?
Anyway. Why is the Royal Navy doing product placement for Games Workshop? That's what I want to know. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what's the angle there?
Follow the money. That is the defense every flat earther gives you. Follow the money.
That this whole time, dude. I've said it at least 4 times this episode. Neither of you are listening to me.
Val, do your own research. Okay, that's all I can say.
Please.
Do my own research. Okay,
Danny, you shared this picture. You were very excited about this next slide.
I was.
Yeah, this is going to be the second to last slide. We're going to skip a couple here. You shared.
Yeah, thank you,
Danny. You shared. We have to talk about this. Was what you said to me when you said this. It says Kato Sicarius themed blowjob for weed. The response is, "What the fuck is a Kato Sicarius themed blowjob?" So, Danny, I ask you, what is a Kato Sicarius themed blowjob?
Oh my God! First of all, you're welcome for breaking every single one of those requirements that they set us up with the FOG in one slide. I'm really glad that we can really make that happen.
No, dude, it's cool because we it didn't do it in a way that moves beyond the focus, and this is awesome.
That's right. No, this is still very 40K themed. I'm going to say a Kato Sicarius blowjob is like a reversed glory hole blowjob, in which you're
stick your mouth through a hole.
You're just sticking your wang out through a vent in the tank or something like that. And isn't he the guy in the tank?
It's not gay if you're outside the tank. I think
I'm saying.
The Emperor can't see what happens in the tank. Let's just put
through
it that way.
the thick steel of the Lehman Russ.
Are you thinking of Ravner? What? Who are you
Who's the
thinking
guy
of?
who goes into a whirlwind and he's good at shooting stuff? Isn't that Kato Scarius?
No.
That's
Sergeant. What's that dude's name? Anyway, no, not him. Kato Sicarius is the guy who marches into a room and is like, I'm Kato Sicarius. He acts all big and tough. He fought famously a cybernetic gorilla and killed it. But he had to try a little bit to do so. He's like really bad Mary Sue character, as many 40k characters are.
If we go back to that slide where it says complaining about Matt Ward, I think that's kind of directly related to this one, right?
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, that one's okay. I'm still down with that. You can complain about Matt Ward to me.
That's fair.
It sucks.
Chat's asking, can we get a picture of how this works? And especially for the podcast listener, here's that picture. Perfect. No, this is...
Love that one too, though.
Yeah, that's Dickie, that's next week. Go to slide 20. We're wrapping it up here almost. Vashtor is on his way, and again stolen from the beautiful place of Warhammer community.
What is a Vashtor?
They said in this beautiful pun, what's cooking at the Rock? Danny Val, how long has that community writer been waiting to use his Dwayne Johnson smells what the Rock is cooking joke at his work?
Since the last time the Dark Angels were released.
Did they do it then too?
Probably.
I mean, I would have gone with a fuck the prom queen reference, but that's about it.
Who's it? Vashtor shows up at the Rock, fucks your girl, leaves.
So, no, what's the? Isn't there a Sean Connery The Rock film?
Yeah.
We made that joke last time too, John. Actually,
we did. Amazing! I forget all of these things. Well, there's questions.
Always whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
That's right. You can see some beautiful AI art, by the way, on the right-hand side, where I entered the prompt: a robotic demon making love to a lion, and this is what came up. And it's beautifully abstract.
Kind of like 2 Become 1 type shit going on there.
Oh, that's really disconcerting.
Yeah, but I mean, that's all the questions I really have about that one. On an unrelated note, Danny, I did want to throw up this last slide here, slide 21. This Saturday, March 11th, there's going to be a special Danny's Hot Takes at a time when we need to figure out to talk about something or other that we can probably talk about on Saturday. Daddy, you're staring hard.
Hold on a second. Can we go back to that? Is there some sort of a hidden message in the red letters?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would just love for all subs to head to the stream.
Why? What is? Why would it be written like that? Oh my god! I think I'm having a stroke.
Really, I think it was kind of a really nice message, though, John, that you put on there as an advertisement.
I don't even know what it said. Cool. I was too distracted by vast
love for all subs who head to this stream. Thanks. That's really nice.
Yeah, it is. It's nice little. Just the subs, though. If you haven't subbed, fuck you.
Yeah, just get out of here.
Get out of here.
There is something subliminal, and I'm just for some reason unable to compute there. Correct?
I don't know, man.
Love for all subs that go to the stream?
Well, guys, that's all the time we've
if I play this backwards, was there some sort of a message to Satan? What is happening?
No, but maybe another fallen angel.
Yeah. Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode of Grim. We've confused Val well beyond repair for 7 more days. But thank you all for joining us as we explore the grim darkness of the 41st millennium and beyond. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. This is our first week. We moved out of mom and dad's house, and we're out on our own. And we appreciate all of the love and support and energy you brought to chat. Great to see you all here on YouTube. Screw Twitch. We don't have time for that. We're going to be back next week at the same time. Follow us on all of our socials. Val set up an amazing link tree where you can find us on Facebook, on YouTube, you can support us on Patreon. So we can pay for Val to learn 10th edition of 40k whenever that comes around here. It's going to be...
You just send me all of your crusty pages of free stuff once you're done with them.
That's all electronic now, Val, but I'll send you the crust. Guys, until next time, stay safe, stay warhammered, and remember, it's pretty grim after dark.
All right.
Oh,
you're out. You're out, God, and the mics are live.
Screw those guys.
Yeah, no kidding.
There's so many things that happened in that episode that I'm gonna need some time to think about. And I can't believe that the randomly read letters in that last thing is what Tyler Bortel does. He has a bank account.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised they let him have one. I thought he was too
Nathan
young.
Henning too helped us out.
It's pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tyler Plans. That's not a real name.
Probably not.
No, neither is Gores. These are all people, by the way, from the old Mob Rules Patreon who's kept paying us.
This is your
even
fault.
though we produce new content.
People don't check their Visa statement for obvious fraud.
Bunch of idiots.
Yeah. Thanks, Justin Woody.
Mm-hmm.
So what else you guys want to do?
Well, I'm probably gonna
need some more wanks.
No, I crushed those wangs, man.
No.
Crushed
the whole bucket.
2 pounds.
One gulp.
That was a deuce pound. Oof. If we get $1 million, I would play Warhammer for a lot less than $1 million. Won't lie to you.
I was going to say you started too high.
Not a monster. $10,000.
$10,000.
Got to pay for all my fantasy armies.
Chat here saying people to blame ? Yeah, that's the people who financially support us through our Patreon. Yeah. At 40k Grim, find it and support us there so we can blame you as well.
Yeah. Yep. Well, boys, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's been real.
Yeah.
Peace.
See ya.
Stream cut.
Adios.